Dan Miller, the founder and lead analyst at Opus Research, and a person that's been fascinated with the whole topic of artificial intelligence and natural language understanding being used just to help people accomplish the goals in their lives. And I want to thank our sponsors for this very first, and I think there'll be many more, Intelligent Assistance Conference. And thank you for attending. Nuance and IntelliResponse are our platinum sponsors. We have Interactions, Next IT, and Smart Action as sponsors, and Linguisys, Inventa, and VoiceBase. And all of the sponsors have tabletops out in the common area, and I encourage people to learn what they're doing and help us make a community out of companies and individuals trying to advance the ideas of getting this whole thing going. We do have Wi-Fi. We've gotten a vanity password, which is OPUS, no capital letters. And we have a hashtag for this event, and I encourage you to Twitter, tweet, all that sort of stuff, put things up on Facebook, whatever, using the hashtag IACSF. As you can tell, we're videoing, which is why this lighting is so elegant. And the videos will be available both through the Opus website and through Opus's YouTube. And we'll be doing some packaging and editing and perhaps working with you to raise video awareness of all that's going on here. And I'm also, okay, so there's the hashtag. But one other thing is we're doing the first ever Intelligent Assistant Awards this evening. So between the very last panel and the reception, 3 out of almost 24 entrants to our Intelligent Assistant Award contest will be receiving the awards. Tim Moynihan and I will be up here to talk about that. But with no further ado, let's get started here. Here's what I believe has been driving sort of the demand or increased awareness of intelligent assistants. And it really does get down to smartphones, mobile broadband subs around the world. And you'll see that you'll hear all sorts of things, that there's 5 billion mobile phone subscribers around the world. But I think one of the real catalysts is the fact that people are hooking up to the internet at very efficient speeds for highly intelligent devices that individuals are walking around with. So, and we're learning things like, more than half of these mobile device users with broadband access are using their mobile device as their primary way of accessing web-based resources. And we're also seeing just what I would call a clutter of applications, quote, on the glass on these devices. And it shows on the one hand that there is tremendous demand and utility for accessing the web through your mobile device, and that this is becoming the constant companion, soon to be something you wear on your wrist or your face, to accomplish your own personal goals. But what's missing is sort of a natural way to interact, to get through the clutter, to get from here to there, get questions answered and that sort of thing. And this is what I'm sort of calling natural queries. And we have some numbers. This probably undercounts what's going on, but basically, individuals are getting very accustomed to either, by tapping, by talking to the thing, gaining access to vital information and performing their daily tasks, from search through scheduling, through controlling the device, so you cut through the clutter of apps. And then over on the enterprise side, this will also come up today. There's utilities, facilities, resources that help leverage both the collaboration infrastructure, the, quote, unified communications infrastructure that enterprises have invested in, and also help individual executives and employees bring in their own device, use it in sort of a controlled manner, and accomplish the goals both of the employee and the employer. The core components technologically, and this is something that we can chat about, we're really talking about resources that do natural language understanding. The data processing, the knowledge management sorts of things that perform magic, really, if you ask me, that let me sort of be as vague as I tend to be in my natural state and have the resources I interact with understand what I'm trying to do. And that involves a combination of natural language understanding, artificial intelligence. The fact that it can learn is, as we'll find out when we have Norman and Bill up here for the third segment here, and a certain amount of knowledge management. And that's sort of the back end. And then on the front end, yes, there's a lot of attention to automated speech and whether you can talk to it or answer, but there's a number of ways of doing input and output, and that's going to come out, that point is going to come out repeatedly during today as we just sort of understand what we're defining when we're talking about intelligent assistance. This really is an enterprise-focused event, meaning that admittedly, you'll see a lot of action over on the mobile devices. You'll see applications, new interfaces, new everything. But as you look at a business model, and we can talk, that's another thing we should all be talking about during the course of today. It seems like enterprises will be the first viable business model for a sustained intelligent assistant business, if you will be driven by enterprise investment in both in the back end and back-end knowledge management resources and front-end sort of web interactive. And the drivers have been proven, automating chat for everything from FAQ through just a full customer support sort of thing. Proactive service, so using intelligence in the enterprise network to know when to trigger some sort of alert or some sort of communications with customers and that sort of thing. The first objectives that we have seen have been in Q&A and FAQs, but there is demonstrated ability to support very complex use cases in the simplest manner possible by applying all of this natural language understanding and that sort of thing. We are going to hear from the implementers that are presenting here about how these resources can support an enterprise brand strategy, how it can drive sales, and really encourage engagement and conversational models with customers, prospects, and that sort of thing. So what we're really talking about, and this is I'm a punster. I realize we call it the Intelligent Assistance Conference and spell it NTS, but we're talking about Intelligent Assistance, NCE. It's really a framing that helps you understand how we're trying to appeal to a growing community of digital natives, meaning the whole generation of people that are digital first. They sort of live through games, through mobile devices and that sort of thing. It's applying these resources to rapidly understand the intent of each individual to help them accomplish goals, whether it's customer care or booking a restaurant, any of those sort of things. That it makes interactions much more social and conversational, and supports that what I call flipping the model. We always think of B2C, advertising and marketing and promotion directed at individuals, when actually this is a portal from an individual's mind into whatever systems companies have invested in to best understand what they're trying to do and help them shorten the time it takes to complete the tasks they're after with a minimum of effort. And really, and you'll hear this in the final session, the whole concept of intelligent assistance, both NTS and NCE, is evolving. So right now we talk about virtual assistants, but soon to be an advisor, an advocate, an assistant is just part of it. So main points, it's more than just a mobile personal virtual assistant that we'll be talking about. It's evolving technologically, we're proving business value, and it's about empowering individuals. And I saw this article in GigaOM, I believe, by Nova Spivak, who's saying, okay, maybe we've created a whole new category of business called cognition as a service, because so much of these resources are, quote, in the cloud. And that the idea is to empower individuals, to empower the devices that they're using, and improve the quality. I call it QoS for the enterprise, but it's really, improve the customer experience. So those are our memes. Let's try to make this the best event ever, this singularity that it is. So take advantage of network opportunities here. It's a nice group. It's about 120 people. I'd like to make it interactive. This is like the one me presenting to you, and share ideas and experience. Maybe we launch some new memes here and keep momentum growing. And then it's real important that we stay on schedule because it's just a really packed day. I think our next one will probably be a day and a half. And you'll notice in the agenda that we have some funky beginning and end dates, or end times of each event. But I'm holding this up, and it has a clock on it. It says it's 9:14, which means I have a minute to introduce David Lloyd, the Chief Executive Officer at IntelliResponse. We like to start out with grounding a lot of the subsequent discussion in some primary research results. And IntelliResponse has conducted some research and is sharing some fresh information here. And we're very happy to have David, so help me welcome him.